So Josh Taylor has managed to actually beat Ramirez to become the unified light welterweight undisputed champion. He became the first person to unify a division since, I believe, Terence Crawford. Teofimo Lopez, when he beat Lomachenko, he managed to get all the belts, but the only belt that he didn't manage to get was a WBC belt that I believe Devin Haney had. So yeah, this is the first Scottish undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. And I'll be honest with you, it was a very impressive performance. In my opinion, in only 18 fights, Josh Taylor has managed to actually, in my opinion, become one of the best fighters in the world. In my pound for pound list, I would probably put him in my top 5. Definitely top 10, but he's creeping on the top 5. If you look at his last 5-6 opponents, all of them have been undefeated except for Victor Postol. And Victor Postol, the only fighter he lost to was Terence Crawford, who was who is obviously seen by a lot of people as a top 3 pound for pound type fighter in the sport today. So this is Josh Taylor has managed to accomplish so much in 18 fights. It's almost ridiculous. And the crazy thing is, he's only 30 years old. So let's just say hypothetically, has a decade left in the sport. The fact that he's already unified the division at such a young age, at such a young point in his career, is incredible. And we can make a case that he's probably the best fighter from the UK right now. Obviously you do have Anthony Joshua, you do have other fighters in the mix that have done impressive performances like Sonny Edwards, but I think in terms of, if you look at the magnitude of what he's done, the fact that he came over to the US and he's actually managed to beat an undefeated champion in his own country, and if you take into account what he's accomplished before then in terms of fighting, beating Victor Postol, obviously beating O'Hara Davis, beating Regis Progress, all these other fighters that he's beaten, obviously finishing the Super 6 series with 2 belts. This looks like a Hall of Fame type resume. If Josh Taylor keeps going the way he's going, he might become the best fighter from the UK for a long stretch. I think he is probably the best fighter from the UK since Joe Calzaghe, definitely, and you can make a case that he might be one of the best fighters if his career keeps going the way it's going. You might make a case that he's probably one of the best fighters from the UK since Lennox Lewis. He may be able to, in terms of his resume already, he's already accomplished. If you look at what Joe Calzaghe done in 18 fights, and if you look at what Josh Taylor done, Josh Taylor's fought, I think, in my opinion, better opposition in his first 18 fights than Joe Calzaghe did. So yeah, in terms of the actual performance itself, in terms of he absolutely dominated Ramirez. Obviously, he managed to drop him twice. I think it's round 6 and round 7, or one of them rounds, he managed to drop him twice. It was a 10-8 round for 2 rounds. He managed to dominate for like 2 rounds straight. Managed to drop him twice for 2 rounds, and the rest of the fight, obviously he did take his foot off the pedal from time to time so he doesn't gas out, but that actually shows his veteran savvy. For such a young professional, he's learned how to pace himself in fights where he doesn't go all out every single round. He knows certain rounds he needs to take off just to keep his stamina in check so that he can finish strong as the fight goes on. It does look like if he didn't score them knockdowns, the scorecards would have been dubious against him. I think Ramirez, obviously with him being from the US, him having 2 belts, him having a large Mexican following, the politics was actually on his side. So I think it's great, yeah, that Josh Taylor done everything in his power to actually stop the guy. Obviously dropping him twice in 2 separate rounds did that for him. So in my opinion, where does Josh Taylor go from that here? He's a big guy at the weight. He's 5'10", a 5'10" making light welterweight. It must be hell for him to make that particular weight. So the most likely outcome is that he moves up to welterweight. He definitely has the frame to go to welterweight. If he goes up to welterweight, he'll definitely be a big welterweight, and I feel like he'll have more energy as it is a higher weight division for him. Obviously he signed with Top Rank, and another fight that's signed with Top Rank is Terence Crawford. So Terence Crawford, for whatever reason they can't get the fight with Errol Spence made. Errol Spence is obviously going to fight Pacquiao soon, so it might be that it could be that Bob Arum is going to cash out with an all house trilogy, all house fight between Terence Crawford and Josh Taylor, as he does actually promote both of them. So yeah, that'll be a really good fight. I don't think he should fight Terence Crawford as soon as he moves up, but it might be a fight that happens because Terence Crawford is running out of opponents and he doesn't have anyone else to fight. So as soon as Josh Taylor moves up, it'll be the undisputed light welterweight champion versus the former undisputed light welterweight champion, fighting off against each other. And I'll be honest, it looks like all the momentum is on Josh Taylor's side. If he could beat Terence Crawford, I think that solidifies it for me. I think he would be a top 3 pound for pound fighter if you take into account everything he's accomplished so far. If he's able to beat Terence Crawford, who's an undefeated champion, who a lot of people have on the top 3 pound for pound list, you could be looking at someone to actually contend with Canelo. What this guy's accomplished in only 18 fights is unbelievable. So yeah, that's my thoughts on his performance, how well he actually done against Ramirez. He just he looked incredible in there. And in terms of his career as a whole, I think he is top right now, a top 5 pound for pound type fighter at this point in time. And if his career goes the way it keeps going, he might actually accomplish more than that, and we might actually have a fighter from Scotland or the UK that is actually that's actually could actually contend with Canelo for becoming for taking his spot as the top pound for pound fighter in the country. So yeah, that's my opinions on Josh Taylor at this moment in time. Tell me what you think below, and obviously subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace out.